They don't want you to know the truth, because once you know it, you can't be controlled anymore. You can't be broken anymore. You can't be lied to anymore. The world has spun a narrative for so long, telling black people you come from nothing. They say it so loud, so often, you might start to believe it. But the truth is older than their textbooks, stronger than their institutions, and deeper than their lives. You are descendants of Shem, not cursed, not lost, not forgotten. You are from the same lineage that shaped nations, built civilizations, carried wisdom through fire and exile and time. That bloodline, it survived wars, it survived captivity, it survived being scattered across the earth, and it's still here, running through your veins. You wonder why they target you, why they fear your voice, your strength, your resilience. Because you carry something ancient inside you, something they can't replicate, steal, or destroy. You carry the memory of kings and queens, of architects and scholars, of warriors and healers. You carry the beginning of stories they wish they could erase. Every time you rise up, every time you dream bigger, every time you walk with your head high, you wake up that ancient DNA inside of you. You remind the world of what they tried to bury, and it terrifies them. See, they'll try to make you think that your history starts with chains, but your story began with crowns. They'll say you came from the bottom, but you were born from the first. They'll tell you your future is limited, but your past says otherwise. You were made for greatness before anyone could even try to define you. You don't have to ask permission to be powerful. You don't have to beg anyone to see your work. It's already yours. It's already written inside of you. So when they try to measure you against their standards, remember you are the standard. When they try to put you in a box, remember you were never meant to fit in their boxes. You were meant to break them. The blood of Shem, the legacy of visionaries, builders, leaders, it's in you. It's undeniable. It's unstoppable. Walk like you know who you are. Speak like you know where you come from. Move like your ancestors are standing behind you. Because they are. You are not lost. You are not lessened. You are not broken. You are the living proof that greatness never dies. They've been trying to rewrite the script for centuries. They've been trying to paint the picture so long, for so long, that you forget what the real portrait looked like. But the truth doesn't need makeup. It doesn't need a filter. It doesn't need approval. The truth stands on its own 2 feet. Long before the world told you who you were supposed to be, long before chains, long before oppression, you were already somebody. You didn't just show up in history when the boats came. You didn't just appear when the plantations were built. You didn't just begin when they decided to count you. No, you were already here, already powerful, already chosen, already walking with a greatness that scared the world even then. You are descendants of Shem, a bloodline that carried knowledge, culture, leadership, invention, a bloodline that saw the rise and fall of empires, and kept on rising anyway. A bloodline that built cities when others were still learning how to survive. A bloodline that spoke languages, traded goods, crafted laws. This is the real history, not the watered-down version they gave you, not the edited textbook made to make you small, not the 3 paragraphs they crammed into 1 month a year and called it history. The real It wants you to think your story started with suffering, but it started with strength. They want you to believe you were always at the bottom, but you come from the top. You were royalty before they even knew what a crown was. And understand this, the reason they distort the truth is because the real story puts power back in your hands. The real story reminds you that you were never meant to beg for a seat at their table. You were born to build your own. It reminds you that you don't have to fit into their systems. You come from people who created systems. They fear the truth because when you know who you are, you can no longer be controlled. You can no longer be tricked into believing you're less than. You can no longer be used, tossed aside, forgotten. Knowing your true roots is not just about pride. It's about position. It's about walking into every room like you belong there. Because you do. It's about building a future based on facts, not fiction. It's about passing down power, not pain. You carry something ancient inside you, something that no history book can erase, something that no system can dismantle, something that no line can bury deep enough. It's in your voice when you speak truth to power. It's in your walk when you refuse to bow down. It's in your dreams when you see beyond the walls that built around you. It's in your blood, in your bones, in your very breath. You come from greatness, not because somebody said so, but because history, real history, already proved it. And it's time you start walking like it, talking like it, building like it, living like it. The world may have tried to distort the story, but the real story is still alive, and it's living inside of you. They want you to believe you come from nothing. They want you to believe your story begins with pain, ends with struggle, and never leaves the middle. But that's not the truth. The truth is bigger, older, stronger than anything they ever told you. Your real heritage is one of royalty, born to lead, not to follow. You are the blood of kings and queens, of builders and creators, of visionaries and protectors. Your ancestors wore crowns before others even knew what a crown was. They sat on thrones, built cities, wrote laws, and ruled. When the rest of the world is still trying to find its way. Loyalty is not about gold or jewels. It's about spirit. It's about bearing. It's about knowing who you are without needing anyone to remind you. And that power, that dignity, that strength, it runs through your veins right now. You come from wisdom, deep, ancient, earned, long before textbooks, long before universities, long before the world even knew what organized learning was. Your ancestors were studying the stars, charting the seas, healing bodies with medicine pulled from the earth. They were teaching mathematics, philosophy, architecture. They were the way you create, the way you dream beyond what's in front of you, and resilience. There is no greater proof of your resilience than the fact that you're still here, still standing, still rising, still pushing forward when everything was designed to hold you back, still creating beauty when the world shows you nothing but ugliness, still loving, still laughing, still living when they tried to crush every spirit that looked like yours. Chains were placed on your ancestors. Yes, but those chains never touched their souls. They never broke the spirit inside them. They never erased the royalty. They never took away the wisdom. They never destroyed the resilience. Oppression was something done to you, but it never defined you. It never will, because you are never just survivors. You are conquerors of the impossible. You are proof that no matter how heavy the weight, you can rise up and carry more. You are living monuments to the strength it takes to endure, to rebuild, to soar higher than anyone thought possible. You don't come from chains. You come from crowns. You don't come from suffering. You come from strength. And no matter how much they try to rewrite the narrative, the real story still shines through. You see it in the way you refuse to be broken. You see it in the way you turn struggle into art, pain into poetry, obstacles into stepping stones. You see it in the way you lift each other up when the world tries to pull you down. Loyalty, wisdom, resilience. That is your inheritance. That is your foundation. That is your undeniable truth. And once you know it, once you own it, there is no chain strong enough to hold you. There is no lie loud enough to drown you out. There is no wall high enough to block your life. You were not made to be broken. You were made to reign. You ever wonder why they work so hard to keep you asleep? Why they flood you with distractions? Why they rewrite your history, hide your achievements, erase your heroes. Because they know something they hope you never figure out. They know that a people who understand their true power can't be stopped. A people who know who they are can't be tricked. A people who walk with purpose can't be pushed aside. And so they create narratives, loud ones, endless ones, flashing on your screens, printed in your books, whispering in your classrooms, shouting from your newsfeed.